Welcome back to my channel, and let's tune into tarot for the month of June 2021. This is for all Aries placements with a sun, moon, or rising sign, and hopefully this resonates with you. Now, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so it will not resonate with everyone, but take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I hope you find this helpful. So for the first week of June, we've got the this is the Six of Swords and in the reverse position. So with this particular card, it indicates a transition of some kind. You are transitioning out typically from a situation or a relationship or project that is not fully supportive of your highest and best path. Sometimes it can be kind of an oppressive situation, or somehow it's limiting you in some capacity. And you are transitioning out of that and moving through all the emotions that is involved with that, and sort of the mental turmoil. And you're moving into a situation that's much more supportive. So in the reverse position, this actually can indicate that you are quite rooted and anchored into that former situation. You're having a hard time really letting it go. And so you might run up against some delays in fully releasing that situation that's not quite supportive of your highest and best path. Now, this also can indicate more of a spiritual journey of some kind, like transitioning in your spiritual journey. It can be a very private transition that's not shared with many people. But in any case, you are going through some kind of transition in the first week of the month. Now, with the second week, we've got the Knight of Cups, and this is the quintessential kind of romantic of the tarot deck. So Knight of Cups indicates a potential new romantic interest, or it could just indicate, if you're in a current relationship, a week that exemplifies kind of these loving feelings. It might be kind of a good week to go on dates and just really enjoy your lover. But again, it could indicate something new coming in. Next to the Six of Swords reversed, I'm thinking that very likely you're transitioning out of a love relationship and moving away from that. So you're sort of releasing some kind of relationship that was very much revolved around romantic elements. So that's sort of happening in the first half of the month. Now, the cups could potentially also indicate some kind of creative project. So maybe you are bringing in some new creative flow. In that second week, you are starting some new creative projects, or if you are transitioning out of a former situation, maybe you're leaving a creative project behind, or some kind of work-related deal that's kind of played out, and you're just moving on from that. But again, you're kind of running up against some resistance in letting that go. But in any case, there are some themes around transitions and transitioning away from either a relationship, whether it's love, could be a family dynamic that you're transitioning out of. It could be a work relationship or a work contract that you're moving away from and transitioning out of. In the third week, we have the World card reversed, and this typically will speak to themes of graduations or completions or culminations of some kind. In the reverse position, it will indicate a delay to those types of things. So if you were scheduled to graduate in the third week of June, or you are bringing some kind of educational program to a close, you might actually find out that you have some additional classes to take, or some final loose ends that you need to tie up in order to fully get your diploma or your certifications. There's some kind of delay in bringing something to a close. Now, this makes sense that if you're resisting some kind of transition, and the World card has to do with a culmination or an ending of some kind, a closing, that there's the resistance is preventing you from fully kind of sealing that loop and bringing it to a close. Again, there's kind of those loose ends lingering, it seems like, in the third week. And then in the fourth week, we've got the Four of Cups. And this often will speak to the idea of the universe providing an opportunity of some kind and you sitting there with your arms crossed, just not quite being up to it, not being up to the task. You're refusing some kind of opportunity that presents itself. So this could be an opportunity of love, like again, a new love interest coming in that you're just not really on board with. It could be a new career opportunity. It could be a creative project that comes in. It could be a social engagement that you're being invited to, or some kind of event that you're kind of in this mode where you want to be more to yourself in your own space. You don't quite want to be interacting or engaging with a lot of people at this time, and you certainly don't want to grab that cup coming out of the sky from the universe. You know, God's trying to hand you an opportunity and you're just not up to it. So that's happening in the 4th week. And then the final kind of words of wisdom from Oracle, we've got the card that says closing door completion. So appropriate. It couldn't be more appropriate. So again, this is speaking to the idea of closing one door and transitioning out of one situation and moving into a new situation that's much more supportive. So opening that new door. So one door closes, another door opens. I know it's quite trite to use that phrase, but that's literally what seems to be happening. But for whatever reason, you're refusing to close that door. It's just kind of letting it linger. Now, Mercury is retrograde most of the month of June. It starts to retrograde at the end of May. And so it does make sense that there'll be some delays. You know, with the World card reversed, there's going to be some delays as far as bringing certain programs to a close, or certain cycles, bringing them to a close or to an ending. But let's go ahead and read from the guidebook for closing door or completion. It's number 5. The number 5 does have to do with conflict usually. So some kind of fighting or resistance or disagreements. So again, it's a energy that is very consistent with the cards that we pulled, as far as resisting the letting go of a situation you're trying to transition out of, and some of the delays that you're dealing with in the 3rd week, and even possibly just maybe this is a new door that's wanting to open in the 4 of Cups, and you're not ready to receive. You're not ready to accept that as an option right now. But that's okay. I mean, Mercury is retrograde, so take your time. But these are the final words of wisdom from the Oracle. So closing door has to do with endings, completion, and your greater calling. So I'm just going to hold this card here while I read. So when the closing door shows up, it's a call to recognize an ending, to terminate a relationship, job, task, or situation that has been dragging on far too long. Unlock the cage you have been trapped in and shut the door behind you. This is not the time to worry about what others might think or feel. Instead, break with routine, consider what you think and how you feel, and be true to your heart's calling. It's time to walk out the door. If you do not see a door but only a solid wall in front of you, ask for assistance. Muster the courage to say no more. Remember as well that no one else needs to be wrong in order for you to do what you've been known you needed to do for a long time. If the door to a project or a relationship has been closed to you, stop knocking on it. You have tried that already, and no one answered, at least not in the way you would have liked. Take this as a gift. Difficult and painful as it might be, move on. Every door that shuts is an invitation to find another way, another path to your destination. Better to recognize this earlier rather than later. How many of us leave a relationship or job years after we knew it was time to move on? Stop wallowing in the pain and lingering on the reasons why things did not work. It is keeping you from your greater calling. Bow deeply before that closed door, give thanks to the lessons, and set yourself free. All right, so that concludes the reading for June 2021 for Aries. Again, I thank you for tuning in today, and please comment below. Let me know how your month unfolds, and give this video a like, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already, and I will talk to you guys next month. Take care.